right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The landscape of schools in Perry County could be changing soon.
As WYMT's Chandler Wilcox reports, the Perry County School Board is looking into consolidating 2 elementary schools, and some members of the community are not happy about it.
A Perry County school could be closing soon. Superintendent Kent Campbell says there are discussions about Leatherwood Elementary consolidating. Campbell says the school would consolidate into Viper Elementary. He says that will increase opportunities for students. The possible move has come as a shock to some parents.
Us as adults, we have issues with change just like that. What are these kids going to go through? How are these kids going to deal with this?
Crest described Leatherwood Elementary as the backbone of their community. Now, parents could be driving 30 minutes down the road every morning, a drive they would not be looking forward to.
We can be here in less than 5 minutes. If we're going to Viper, God forbid something to happen to one of our kids and we have to get there quick. If it's a good day and we don't get behind traffic, 25, 28 minutes.
The Perry County Schools news release says there are only 87 students projected to enroll at Leatherwood in the next school year. Crest says adding those students will make Viper Elementary too crowded.
And that's another issue. Where is Viper going to hold all these families that come to eat Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas plays, graduations?
Kimball says the school board will soon have a meeting about consolidation. In Perry County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
The school board meeting will be at the Leatherwood Elementary Gymnasium on Tuesday, May 23rd at 4 p.m. Superintendent Kent Campbell invites anyone in the community to come and express their opinions.
Been a beautiful day region-wide. Still seeing that sunshine as we head through the evening hours. Upper 70s at Slade right now with, yes, a few of those high clouds starting to move in. We had the camera from Hazard. I can tell you it's sunny out front. 77 the current reading right now. We'll continue to see those temperatures in the middle and upper 70s to near 80s. Still a couple of 80-degree readings out there. Dew points are in the 50s, so for most it's comfortable. But some of us are already starting to get those dew points in the 60s. Clean sweep on Pinpoint Doppler for now, but as we head through the next 12 hours, we'll drop those temperatures into the 60s as we start to increase that chance for rain, especially as we head towards the 3, 5, and 7 a.m. time frame. Guys, I'll have the very latest on when the showers move in, when they move out, and when we can expect a much nicer finish to the weekend in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. The governor's office says a dozen counties have been added to the federal disaster declaration for public assistance due to damage that was caused by windstorms back on March 3rd. 3 counties in our area now included are McCreary, Pulaski, and Wayne. There are now 16 counties here in the mountains that will receive federal funding for those storms. Governor Beshear thanked the Federal Emergency Management Agency and local officials for working with his team during this time and is pleased once again to see more aid coming to help communities recover.
Police are investigating after a church in Williamsburg was vandalized. Highland Park Missionary Baptist Church was vandalized with anti-police writing and graphic images. Police say they are not sure who could have done it, and they are asking for anyone in the area with security cameras to check their footage.
Sometime between May the 14th and May the 17th, somebody had vandalized painting graffiti on the sidewalk and the side of the building. This isn't something we deal with very often, but we've had one other prior incident that seems to probably be connected at Briar Creek Park in the last month or so.
Police say they do not believe it is gang related. They ask if you have any information to call the Williamsburg Police Department. WYMT's Keaton Hall will have more about this tonight at 11.
A Mingo County, West Virginia man will spend 5 years in prison for his role in a federal drug case. Yesterday, 57-year-old Paul Thomason of Del Barton was sentenced at the federal courthouse in Charleston. The sentence stems from him admitting he sold meth to a confidential informant at his home in Del Barton back in October of 2021. Thomason was also arrested within that time frame when police found more than 1 pound of fentanyl, 3 guns, and more than $12,000 during a search of his home. He was convicted on 2 counts of distribution of meth. No word on where he will serve his sentence.
A 21-year-old vet tech was killed on Sunday by a pet owner. It happened just south of Louisville at Shively Animal Clinic. Trent Taylor was a veterinarian technician there. Police say he was shot and killed by a pet owner following an argument. Taylor's mother, who also works at the clinic, says employees called police to report the verbal altercation, but it turned physical quickly. Police in the field say altercations in the animal welfare industry are not uncommon.
You know, when you are in a position where you have to tell someone that you can't do the thing that they want you to do, or, you know, there's a policy in place and this is how we do things and they don't like the answer, you just never know how someone's going to react to that at this point.
Olson says in the past they have received threats, been called names, and even had damage done to their property.
The race is on for the candidates running for governor here in the Commonwealth. Today, Democratic incumbent Governor Andy Beshear began his statewide re-election bus tour in western Kentucky. In Paducah, the governor touted his accomplishments during the past 4 years, including record low unemployment rates.
And folks, the numbers don't lie. Last year, we set the lowest annual unemployment rate in the history of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Last month, we set the lowest monthly unemployment rate in the history of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Governor Beshear's tour continues this weekend, and that includes stops in Pikeville and Prestonsburg tomorrow.
Kentucky Republicans say they are united behind Daniel Cameron. Republicans have majorities in the legislature and 5 constitutional officers are in the GOP.
But the governor and lieutenant governor, of course, are Democrats. WYMT's Phil Pendleton explains how the group plans to switch the state's top office from blue to red.
Ready to fire Andy Beshear this November.
Despite some saying that he's one of the most popular governors for the state, Republicans say they believe his record is much different. GOP legislative leaders say they want a governor who will work with them and not against them.
We know that this governor is going to attempt to take credit for the work of others. He's going to take credit for tax cuts and budgets that he vetoed.
In this news conference, Daniel Cameron revealed what may be his strategy heading into the fall race as far as what he will say regarding going after a governor with a very high approval rating.
To make Andy Beshear a one-term governor.
He spoke of Beshear siding with President Biden, claims it's increased access to dangerous drugs.
Fentanyl is coming across the southern border and hurting families and communities right here in Kentucky.
Cameron also says Beshear has been weak on law enforcement and crime prevention. He says the state's largest cities have seen more crime under his watch.
I offered the idea that we need to have the Kentucky State Police work with local law enforcement agencies. Andy Beshear said no. He essentially said, I'm going to sit on my hands and allow violent crime to continue to rise.
Cameron also says he'll work to change the leadership of the Education Commissioner, although the Board of Education appoints that position, with the governor having a say on who serves on that state board. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Kentucky is one of only 3 states that will have gubernatorial races in the fall, along with Louisiana and Mississippi in November.